very solid force fields go down to prevent these Marines from joining the fight. And he's going to pick off these Marines that are quite separated from their brethren down here. Sentries were a good idea. He got the force fields and the shield up the entire time there. Didn't lose many units, 4 units compared to the 1,000 the STC has lost. Now we're going to see these Marines with shield and stim move out with this medevac here. We might see some sort of drop into the side of Duk space, or might see some harass the front, the natural expansion here. Psionic Storm's about to finish. Looks like that was chrono boosted up a number of times. Now Amulet's being researched, and our first Ghost is coming out for STC. So we'll see which player has better micro, Templars versus Ghosts. If the Templars get the feedback off first, the Ghosts are pretty much worthless, and if the Ghosts can get that EMP off, then the Templars are worthless. Be interested to see how the STC uses these drops here. Looks like he's loading up for 8 Marines. Going to bring this around to the side, though Duk does have a well-placed pylon here, and he's going to be able to see that drop before he gets in. Showing aggression on multiple fronts here. Looks like Duk has pylons all over the place to really spot these drops. Maybe throwing down a 3rd right here. Looks like first Psi Storm's going down, well placed. STC doesn't move out in time. It looks like he might be microing this drop in the back, doing a lot of economic damage here. Some Stalkers or Zealots get warped in here. Probes are being pulled off the line to tank the Zealots. Zealots are going to go down with some good kiting from STC. But it looks like STC lost most of the Marines he attacked with at the front of the base. Did some economic damage here, but not enough to make the loss worth it. If you look at the losses, I guess they're relatively equal here. Relatively equal harvest count as well. Looks like Duk has some chrono boost saved up here on both Nexus. Should be chrono boosting out some of these upgrades for the ground army, since it looks like he's going mostly gateway units. Got these Templars out, which are going to be very powerful against the Marines, Marauders, and Medevac. As we see Marauders being pushed out now, maybe in response to those Stalkers. Some bunkers going down. STC does a great job of throwing down bunkers. When he feels like pressure, it may be applied. He just lost a bunch of units, and a counterattack by Duk means he could be vulnerable, so he throws down these bunkers, and he's going to be able to have the Marines hop right into him, and probably pull off some SCVs to repair as well. Throwing down another barracks. This will be 8 barracks, so very, very heavy MMM army coming. Still pumping out no more medevacs. Looks like he's got 3 here. Doesn't think he needs any more than that. Just going to be concentrated on the barracks units. Got a nice spread here, so the storms can't be used to great effectiveness as long as he micros. And it looks like he's not doing a great job of microing out of these storms, so he's going to lose the majority of these units. Not enough Marauders yet to stand up against these Stalkers. Some bad micro on STC's part in terms of getting out of those storms. He's tried to throw down that gold expansion, again being denied. The Stalkers are going to take down the command center. Another storm. He's not doing a great job moving these units out of these storms. Going to go down quite a bit. The Stalkers are going to move in, take down this bunker. Not many Marauders in that bunker, and the SCV is going to have to come off to help tank. This Archon's going to be able to do a ton of damage to these biological SCV units. You should get in here and use that Archon to tank a little bit, take down all those workers. Stalkers can pick off these Marauders in the back. Can also be taking down medevacs, as STC doesn't have many medevacs. Looks like he's building 2 more at the moment, and we're also researching level 1 weapons that just finished. These 8 barracks is able to reinforce quite quickly. Let's see how many tech labs he has. Looks like 4 tech labs, 3 reactors, and 1 barracks without an add-on at the moment. Duk has now thrown up a 3rd expansion, and again has good map control in sight all along the bottom here, so he's not going to be having any drops he doesn't know about. Look at army size. STC just took a ton of losses, but is able to reinforce so quickly with those cheap barracks units out of those 8 barracks. And these Marauders are going to be a good counter to the Storm and the Stalkers. Marauders have 125 life, so the Storm's not going to take them down like it does the Marines. Now moving out the 3 medevacs, and the Marines Marines Marauders here. Can probably do some damage to this third base of Duck. Though he is getting down a few photon cannons. You'd like to see the photon cannons in front of the pylon though. The pylon's going to be able to be focused down relatively easily with these Marauders from good range. Usually you want the photon cannons on the inside when you have some sort of air harass. You want them close to the mineral line. Duck's going to take down these rocks so he's better able to reinforce this third base. STC is going to stim up, run in here, pick off a Templar, not before a few storms can go down, but this time he's doing a great job microing out of these storms. Medevacs are healing up these Marines, and STC pushes down here. Looks like he should be focusing down workers, but he's going to take down some of these pylons, though Duck's army is not anywhere near being supply capped, so STC should be focusing on the targets which are going to do the most damage here. This Nexus goes down. He needs to be taking out these workers or the Templar archives, which is going to limit the Templar production. On the field right now, unit-wise, looks like there's only 2 Templars, so they're not going to be able to stand up against this Marine Marauder ball as long as he does a good job of microing away from the storms. And Duck sees that with the Templars going down, he's not going to be able to even this battle, and he GG's. So we saw Duck do a lot of good things there. He denied that early expansion, he scouted it, he had his unit outside, the Stalkers and the Sentries. STC was not able to set up that expansion. And then Duck did a good push, good defense early here with some storms. STC did more of a poor job microing than Duck did a good job of storms, and he was able to take advantage and push up there, but STC had those bunkers down, and at that point had 8 barracks up, and was just able to push out those Marauders and Marines with the medevacs, and did a much better job towards the end with the micro and the storms that really swung the tide of the battle. He wasn't losing units like he did early on. So we see storms there, relatively effective unless the other person is good at micromanagement, and STC came through at the end and showed the quality of player that he really is. So did another pro game here. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. It's a pretty exciting game, back and forth, a lot of good play on both sides. So hopefully you can learn some things and had fun watching. See you next time.